Hello friends, hello astrology lovers. Today we are going to speak about 12 important astrological events of 2025 to understand what this year has in store for us. First of all, Pluto has finally moved into Aquarius, where it will remain for the next 20 years. And this transition signifies that we need to adapt to a new reality. 250 years ago, when Pluto last transited Aquarius, we witnessed the replacement of manual labor with machinery, sparking a true industrial revolution. And over the next 20 years, we can expect another technological revolution. The key will be ensuring that machines and new technologies don't become significantly smarter than humans. And actually, the formula for Pluto in Aquarius is a redistribution of material values through modern technologies. And it's essential to sharpen your mind and gain new knowledge, because Pluto in Aquarius does not favor the lazy, the foolish, and the unprogressive. So it's time for all of us to start learning new technologies, to start using artificial intelligence in our work, and it's time for us to maybe learn new skills, because many jobs will just disappear with the introduction of new technologies, and these changes will make us move. We will have to adjust, we will have to learn new skills, and we can see that many jobs are already threatened by these new technologies and are going to be lost. Next is Neptune enters Aries on March 30th. And it marks a time for pursuing utopian plans of universal happiness. The unrestrained energy of Aries will drive people towards new and seemingly absurd achievements. Historically, Neptune was in Aries from 1861 to 1871, a period that saw the abolition of serfdom in Tsarist Russia and the American Civil War between the North and South, leading to the emancipation of slaves. Many of these newly freed individuals struggled to navigate their newfound freedom. In Russia, too, the abolition of serfdom came with its own set of complexities and nuances. Both the liberators and the liberated faced long-lasting consequences that took years to resolve. As we enter this new Neptune in Aries phase, we could prepare for transformative changes and challenges that may echo that profound impact of the past. Let's see what is going to bring us this time, but big changes are coming our way. Also, there will be in 2025 there will be planetary alignments, and first of all, on January 21st there will be a grand evening alignment of Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn, and on February 28th a complete evening alignment of Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars. And when it happens, usually these alignments bring big shifts in the world we live. But when we watch the news, we can see how many things are changing, and things that used to be stable are not stable anymore, and we cannot just make plans as we used to for 20-30 years. Now it's like, okay, if I can plan for a month ahead, that's already good news. But we should not forget that now we moved from the era of Earth into the era of air. And air is not about stability. So when you live in the era of air, so the real estate is losing its importance. And because of different maybe changes of climate, wars, or I don't know, earthquakes, whatever can happen, people will be moving, or changes in the climate will make people move. So everybody will be on the move, and AI, it also means new technology. So now the world is changing, so it won't be as material, so it will be just your knowledge that will enable you to survive. So people need to have some skill, use it, but I don't think that people will be trying to buy as much property this time. But we'll see how things develop. This is my idea, but we'll see how it develops. Next astrological event, Uranus moves into Gemini. Before it was in Taurus. And when Uranus was in Taurus is the fixed earth sign. So this is a place where Uranus felt very uncomfortable. And it created a lot of disruptions. There were a lot of changes. So the main changes were in agriculture, food systems, and sustainability. And there was also, because Taurus, it's like a symbol of money. So the presence of Uranus in Taurus, it brought rise of cryptocurrencies, decentralized banking, and the shift of wealth paradigms, and a lot of economic upheavals, forcing revaluation of financial security. And Taurus craves stability, but Uranus disrupts it. So many people face changes in their definition of comfort and security, often against the will. And many people, like if I take Ukraine, for example, it's Taurus, and we can see a lot of unpleasant changes in Ukraine. This Uranus, like revolutionized, brought the war, explosions, so lack of stability, and so you know what war is. But now Taurus is going, but now Uranus is going to leave this sign, and it moves into Gemini, and it's a radical shift of collective energy. And we know that Uranus is a planet of innovation and disruption and higher consciousness. And when it moves into Gemini, so Gemini is the mutable air sign of communication, intellect, and duality. And it marks the beginning of a paradigm shift that could redefine how we think, how we connect, how we share information. So it can bring revolutionary shifts in how we process ideas. Gemini thrives on curiosity and adaptability, and Uranus will bring breakthroughs in science, technology, and education. So this is, we're entering an era where artificial intelligence brings more possibilities, more opportunities, but more challenges than we think now, understand now. And Uranus in Gemini rewires how we communicate, sparking innovation in language, media, storytelling. Think global movements born from viral tweets or entirely new ways to connect digitally. Language itself could evolve. We don't know, maybe it's possible. So it's also this mutable energy of Gemini meets Uranus electric unpredictability, bringing rapid shifts in societal and cultural trends. And as all systems crumble, we'll see a push towards decentralization, so in education, politics, or social networks. And this transit activates our collective intellect. Gemini-Uranus duo encourages us to think beyond borders, both literal and mental. So expect debates about free speech, information ethics, and how knowledge is shared. So a lot of interesting things are coming our way. These new technologies, they are going to be completely crazy. So I'm not even sure that we realize how our life will change with all these technologies. To survive and to thrive, it will be crucial to think and think and think again, not only to watch TikTok videos. Life will accelerate, ushering us in a new era of thinking. Well, let's see how we will enjoy it. Not sure, because nobody likes changes. The sixth astrological event of 2025 is like the shift of social planets into a new sign. Saturn moves from Pisces on May 25th, where it spent 2.5 years dissolving boundaries into Aries, where it will now draw these boundaries with fire. This phase will also last for 2.5 years. Saturn in Aries, Saturn's energy in Aries is fierce, much like it reminds you a judge demoted to a rank and file policeman. Historically, Saturn was in Aries during turbulent times, like it was 1937, 1940, representing the USSR, beginning of World War II. 1976-69, the Prague Spring, 1996 and 1999, the Kosovo War, and the war in Abkhazia. These historical periods were marked by significant upheaval and change, reflecting the intense influence of Saturn in Aries. And as Saturn transitions into this sign again, we can expect a period of intense and possibly challenging transformation on a global scale. And in July, the seventh astrological event is this is a conjunction of Saturn and Neptune in July 2025. But I'll make a separate video to discuss this topic, but now just in a few words. In July 2025, we will witness a conjunction of Saturn and Neptune at the first degree of Aries. The first degree of Aries marks the beginning of the zodiac cycle, allowing us to observe the dawn of a new era. May you live in interesting times, indeed. Saturn in Aries is fierce, eager to impose order or even punish without trial. Meanwhile, Neptune in Aries strives to bring to life the utopian ideas it has nurtured during its 14-year-old journey through Pisces. The embrace between Saturn and Neptune will last until February 2026. And it seems we are in for such a struggle for universal happiness that not a stone will be left unturned. So prepare your popcorn and don't forget to pack an emergency kit. So next, good news. Astrological aspect number 8, good news. Jupiter enters Cancer, a time of generosity with caution. Let's focus on some positive news. So on June 10th, Jupiter will transition into the sign of Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer is benevolent and generous, ready to provide plenty for everyone. However, this ingress happens under a square to Saturn and Neptune, which may complicate things a bit. So, key point, generosity of Jupiter in Cancer, this transit brings an increase in emotional nurturing, familial bonds, and general well-being. Jupiter's expansive energy in this compassionate sign can enhance our sense of security and emotional fulfillment. However, the square with Saturn and Neptune suggest that some of these blessings may come with strings attached. Be cautious of opportunities that seem too good to be true. and they might turn out to be less beneficial than they appear. Patience and awareness. It's wise to avoid hasty decisions or taking risks until mid-July, when the tension from the square starts to ease. After this period, you can breathe a sign of relief and enjoy positive energy of Jupiter in Cancer. When Jupiter in Cancer, it often brings a strong sense of nationalism and an emphasis on home and family values. And all conversations will be about national identity, patriotism, and a desire to preserve cultural heritage. So people will be more interested in domestic affairs like housing, family life, community well-being, and people might prioritize creating a safe and comfortable home environment. And there may be a surge in activities that support family and community cohesion. However, there can be this heightened sense of nationalism and protection of home and family can lead to the desire to limit the presence of foreigners. So we can expect many laws that will prevent foreigners coming to the country, immigrating to the country, community cohesion. However, there can be this heightened sense of nationalism and protection of home and family can lead to the desire to limit the presence of foreigners. So we can expect many laws that will prevent foreigners coming to the country, immigrating to the country, or will try, like in Europe, they will try to send many of the refugees back, like what we witnessed already in America. And I think more is coming in Europe. So some even may feel more inclined to exclude the foreigners that come to their countries as outsiders. And there can be xenophobic attitudes or policies. So it's important to be mindful of these tendencies and strive for a balanced approach. So Jupiter in Cancer can bring a lot of positive, but also a lot of negative if people stop being too patriotic but start being too nationalistic. So the next aspect we are going to speak about, the next event, this is I'm going to speak about Mars retrograde. And in 2025, Mars is going to be retrograde at the beginning of the year. And an astrological event of this year, 2025, is Mars retrograde. And Mars is going to be retrograde from 2024, from December 7th to February 24th, 2025. And during this period, Mars in Cancer can be quite troublesome. So, as I already mentioned, conflicting with Pluto and in Aquarius. And as a result, it is advisable to avoid at this time? Like surgeries, maybe it's not a good time to buy cars or other Mars related items, or to start new relationship and new projects. So because it will be quite difficult to implement them, the energy will be insufficient. So time till February 24th is not the best time to start anything new. If you want it to be successful from the very beginning, it's better to wait. In 2025, Venus is going to be retrograde from about March 2nd, 3rd till April 14th. Venus will be retrograde, and this time it is advisable to avoid any cosmetic procedures that are aimed at improving your appearance, to purchase art or jewelry, artwork, I don't know, new clothes, new romantic commitments. Better not to start any new romantic commitments to avoid getting married, engaged, or starting new romantic relationships. So it's better to use this time for introspection and reevaluating your values and relationship. And Mercury is going to retrograde between March 15th, April 7th, June 18th, August 11th, November 9th to November 29th. And probably you know that during this period, it's advisable to avoid signing important documents. You should hold off on signing contracts or important agreements. Refrain from buying cars and any gadgets. To avoid relocating to a new home or postpone any elective surgeries. This time is good for reflection, reviewing plans, and ensuring that all details are in order. And the eclipse periods in 2025, they will have two significant eclipse corridor from March 14th to March 29th, September 7th to September 21st. And we have these important days. March 14th, total lunar eclipse. March 29th, partial solar eclipse. September 7th, total lunar eclipse. September 21st, partial solar eclipse. During this eclipse period, it is advisable not to start any important new ventures. Events that occur on the day of an eclipse often carry karmic significance and are meant to unfold as they do. It sometimes notably something notable happens on these days. During these eclipse periods, it's advisable not to start any important new ventures. Events that occur on the day of an eclipse often carry karmic significance and are meant to unfold as they do. If something notable happens on these days, it's believed to be part of a larger karmic story. Understanding this can help us accept the events as inevitable and recognize that the resolution and completion of these stories may come during this subsequent eclipse. Speaking about karmic nodes, they will be on the Virgo-Pisces axis. Starting January 30th, 2025, the karmic nodes will shift to the Virgo-Pisces axis, promising many changes and new crossroads in destiny. In astrology, Virgo and Pisces are considered mutable signs, emphasizing the importance of quick adaptation and considering various options. If uncertainty confuses you, so in 2025 it will become almost a daily occurrence, and it's best to learn how to react to it properly. The future node will be in Pisces, enhancing the significance of spirituality, empathy, and compassion. Everything you once believed in may no longer work as Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, transitions into Aries. It's time to change your beliefs and perhaps pay close attention to other perspectives. Forget about passive waiting for miracles from the universe. In 2025, you must be ready for active actions and independent decisions. This year will see a sharp increase in interest in coaching, NLP, and hypnosis. Additionally, aggressive religious movements will start arising and gain popularity. As you see, the year 2025 will be incredibly eventful. However, it doesn't mean that it will be overwhelming for everyone. So you must understand a lot depends on your personal chart. So as your chart, sometimes it's going to be influenced by all these planetary shifts more or less. And for some people, there will be constant changes in many spheres of life. For some people, the life will be pretty the same, but This is a time for everybody to start learning new technologies, because the new world starts, and we can see how it actually appears and develops in front of us. So guys, so not to be left behind, so to be able to survive and be financially successful in the new era, we have to be prepared, learn a new skill, improve your knowledge of technologies, because the world is changes, and we will see a lot of changes. But we should be optimistic, and we should remember the motto of this year. It's not the most intelligent that survive, not the strongest that survive, but the ones who can adapt to the changes in the environment. So guys, stay flexible, be prepared to adapt, and you will have a good life. So enjoy 2025, and it's a little crazy energies.